Hello everyone, my name is Scott Smith. My paper presentation will be on combining social network analysis and sentiment analysis to explore the potential for online radicalization. The authors for this are Adam Birmingham, Maura Conway, Lisa McKerney, Neil O'Hare, and Alan Smeaton. Okay, so for the summary, since 9/11, jihadists have been vastly increasing their online presence, which has been raising the exposure for their violent nature. This online exposure is helping them radicalize others via the internet. This study in particular was done by collecting a large amount of data from a jihadist group within YouTube. That data was analyzed using social network analysis, sentiment analysis, and sentiment polarity. The gender differences was a pretty big focal point in this study, assuming they could actually figure out the gender. There's actually a lot of users that they couldn't determine if they were male or female. The other focal point was highlighting the most common keywords and terms for each gender and how they were alike and dislike. Okay, so for some of the background research, according to this study, there's actually not been much academic research in this area. There have been some individuals who have, been reported to use certain things as far as websites or other YouTube clips. Some of them, for example, Hussein Osman, who was one of the London bombers, claimed to have been influenced by watching a YouTube video of the Iraqi conflict and admitted to reading about the jihad online. Another guy was Khan al-Khalili, who did the bombing in Cairo, and he said he downloaded bomb making instructions from a jihadist website. Mark Seligman is someone who's been involved in this area of study. He wrote an article called The Leaderless Jihad. And then Bruce Hoffman is another one who's written articles which he has actually kind of criticized Mark Seligman for not employing social network theory and other kind of associated methods. In past research, like Seligman's and others, they've been focused on the jihadist forums. But these authors believe that only people already interested in radicalization are going to be the ones using the forums, which could imply that these forums aren't recruiting anyone. They're already, because they're already interested in radicalization. So these authors believe that the internet is obviously not divided into two pieces of information: passive websites, and then on the other side, kind of forums and chat rooms and whatnot. YouTube is an example that kind of blends these two components together, because you have video and you have comments like the text version. Okay, so some of the technology that's being used, in this paper kind of goes into the online supporters of videos promoting jihadism on YouTube. Content analysis techniques are used on YouTube comments and on the users' profiles to classify the users as one of a few things: a supporter, a critic, neither, or impossible to determine. Sentiment analysis is identifying positive and negative opinions and emotions. This is usually used in movie reviews. However, with YouTube's type of informal language, sentiment analysis is much more difficult to employ. Now, these authors used a sentiment technique that uses a dictionary-based polarity scoring method to assign positive and negative scores to the user's profiles and comments. Other kind of demographic details, including age and location, were manually extracted from the profiles. So the methodology that was used in this article, they sought to answer two questions. First one was the group populated by radicals who were in a position to draw others into their sphere of influence? And then, what were the differences, if any, in terms of radicalness between the content posted and the interactions engaged in by the male and female group members? This data collection and analysis consists of a YouTube crawl to gather relevant data, a network analysis of the data, a lexical analysis which breaks down the syntaxes, which then informs the sentiment analysis. So for the design of the study, they called it a YouTube crawl. They combed through a group on YouTube which had over 700 members in it. This was first done on January 8th, 2009, which gathered users' comments, and then again on January 16th, 2009, which gathered the user's profile information. Some key statistics from the crawl. There were over 13,700 users. The group members were over 700. The males almost 6,000. The females over 2,700. Unknown gender was over 5,000, and the total comments that they found were over 135,000. The male age range was from 14 to 56. The female age range was 15 to 41, and the total mean age was 24 and a half years old. Okay, so with the results, in order to use the lexical analysis, all comments and profiles were indexed by the Terrier search engine. The search engine was used to extract the frequencies certain words were used. The top 10 words by all users were Allah, Islam, Jesus, like, Muslim, who, God, think, will, and salam. The top male word was Jesus. Top female word was Allah. So some interesting findings from that. Jesus was the most frequently term used by males, but it did not register in the top 10 for females. The lower user frequency of Jesus for males suggests that this comes from a relatively small number of users who use this term frequently. It's also noteworthy that the only exclusively religious term in the top 10 for females is Allah. So for the sentiment analysis results, to determine the user's feelings for a specific topic, the authors created 8 concepts from the 50 most used words. These 8 concepts were America, Christianity, Islam, Israel, Judaism, Mubarak, Palestine, and Al-Qaeda. Each concept was expanded without spelling variants or synonyms. For example, for Christianity, all documents containing any of the following terms were considered relevant. So Jesus, cross, Christian, Bible, those were all thrown into the Christianity concept. So this table shows the sentiment analysis for the males on the top and the females on the bottom. For certain topics like America, Christianity, Palestine, the level of positivity and negativity are pretty similar. The most overwhelmingly positive topic for males is Mubarak, and Judaism has higher positivity than negativity, while the opposite can be said for the topic of Israel, suggesting that many of these males are tolerant of the Jewish religion while opposing the Israeli state. So for the women, they have a greater positivity towards the topic Al-Qaeda, and the greater female negativity towards the topic Judaism. This kind of suggests a more extreme viewpoint among female users. Unlike men, they seem unwilling to distinguish between the Israeli state and the Jewish religion. Negative female sentiment towards Christianity is strong, which suggests a greater lack of tolerance of other religions. If the difference between the positivity and negativity score for each concept is considered for each gender, the only reversal of polarity is seen in the non-Islam religious concepts. Christianity and Judaism, for these concepts, males are more positive than they are negative, and females are markedly more negative than they are positive. So for the social network analysis, the term betweenness means extent to which an actor mediates or falls between any two actors on the shortest path between those actors. So they found in the study that the top 10 ranking group members in betweenness scores featured 2 females, while the other 8 members had not declared a gender on YouTube. This also suggests that it is quite possible that at least some of the other users, unknown gender, are in fact female because of a masculinist bias apparent in the Muslim world that might cause women to cloak their female identity. So as far as the findings go, the major findings was clearly the overall difference of female versus male when it came to the keywords and the likes and the dislikes. The other surprising find was that the leaders in the forums were either female or unknown. Me personally, I was kind of surprised that the women had a more positive than negative outlook for Al-Qaeda. And then when I was reading this, one of the first things that came to my mind was about what about the people that were kind of speaking or typing in Arabic on YouTube. And then in the conclusion of the article, it says, the authors say, in future work, we will integrate the non-English text into our sentiment analysis algorithm. So that one kind of threw me off. I kind of thought that they would really take all languages into consideration, but they only really took English. But that is all for now. Thanks for watching.